Hi guys, Mimi G here. I'm actually working from home and I'm just chilling in the backyard right now. Got no makeup on, so y'all seeing me all filter free. Anyway, I wanted to just do a really quick video because I thought, vlogging sort of takes a whole lot of time, but I thought I could talk about like just random things that I get asked on a regular basis, and sort of do that on Wednesdays and see how that goes. Saturday is usually a DIY sort of project or interview or something. And I don't know, just I'm trying to figure out what Wednesdays are going to be exactly. So I'm just going to try a bunch of different stuff and then we'll just see what you guys like more. Hey, Buttons. Buttons just made an appearance. Anyway, so I was having a conversation recently with somebody and I don't know how the subject came up, but we started talking about Buttons. Really? Really, Buttons? Move! We started talking about smokers, and they didn't know that I used to be a smoker. So I used to smoke cigarettes. I started smoking when I was 12 years old, and I stopped smoking. This June will be 7 years that I stopped smoking. But I started when I was 12, so I smoked for a really long time. I'm 41. So it was funny because they were like, really, you were a smoker? I can't picture you as a smoker. And I was, saying how hard it was for me to quit smoking. And now when I see people smoking, I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could just like make you stop right now. But I totally get how hard it is because it took me years, and I mean years, for me to quit smoking. I tried everything. I tried the chewing gum, the Nicoderm chewing gum. I would literally like chew gum and then smoke a cigarette. Like, it was insane. Then I tried the patches, and I would put a patch on. I would leave for work. I would drive by like the first gas station or 7-Eleven. I would rip that patch right off my damn arm, go inside, buy some cigarettes, and start smoking. I tried cold turkey. I tried weaning myself off. I tried, look, listen, y'all, I even tried hypnosis. So I had met this lady who said that she had helped people stop smoking through hypnotizing them. And at that point, I was like, yo, I'm willing to try anything. You know what I'm saying? So I went in, but, it was $500, yo. But she did say that if it didn't work, if she was unable to hypnotize me, because apparently you have to be susceptible to it, that I didn't have to pay. So I was like, all right, cool. So I figured, I could stop smoking for $500 and save my life, or if it doesn't work, I'm not out anything, right? Except the experience. So I went in and she tried to put me under, but apparently I am not susceptible to being hypnotized, because I was like, I don't think it's working. So that was a fail. And then, then I sort of just gave up and was like, man, whatever, F it. I'm just going to keep smoking. And then my bestest friend of 20 years, she's like my sister, April, was also a smoker. And we tried stopping together. And I remember the day that we had planned to stop smoking. We had like this whole ritual. We had got, a bottle of wine. We had like pumped ourselves up. We had that one cigarette left. We threw everything, all of them else away, the whole box. But we had just kept one cigarette for her, one cigarette for me. We waited till the evening. We lit a candle. We sit on the balcony. We had our glass of wine. We smoked our last cigarette. And that was like, that's it. We're done. That was the last cigarette. We're good. We got on the patch, but the patch did not do well for her. She got so sick that she stopped doing it, and then she started eating sunflower seeds and lollipops. And that worked for her because she hasn't had a cigarette since then. I lasted about 2 weeks and went right back to smoking. So I tried again on and off for a couple years, and then I would just, give up again and say, oh, forget it. It's too hard. And then one year I was just really over it. Like, seriously, it was like I was holding myself hostage. Like, I wouldn't go out with friends unless they were smokers because I didn't want to not have to smoke. whenever I had to fly, I would pray and hope that the connecting flight was in an airport that had a smoking area so that I could have a cigarette before I had to board the connecting flight. Like, I wouldn't go anywhere if I knew that I was going to be able to smoke for like long periods of time. This is ridiculous. Like, who the hell does that? So finally, I had gone in to see my doctor about something unrelated. And, before I left, he said, is there anything that you want to talk about before I let you go? And I said, yeah, you know what? I've been trying to stop smoking for a really long time, and I've been really unsuccessful. And I'm sort of really over it. And, is there anything that that I can do? I've done the gum, I've done the nicotine patch, I've done the, all of this stuff. And I listed everything that I had attempted. And he said, have you tried Chantix? And I was like, what's that? And he said, oh, it's a prescription. It's a pill, and you take it, and it's supposed to help quit smoking. He's like, I've had, a lot of patients that have been very successful on it. And so, and this is not a Chantix commercial. I have no relation to them whatsoever. I don't even know if they still do it. I don't know. That's what I used. Anyway, so he gave me the prescription for it, which was hell of expensive because at the time, I was working like a regular 9-to-5 job, and I didn't have a whole lot of disposable income. There's a plane above me. So, $200 for a prescription was like a lot, you know what I'm saying? And so I was like, all right, well, I want to stop, so I'm going to try it. So I did. So apparently, I don't remember all the details, like I said, it was years ago, but you take the pill, and for the first week, you can still smoke while you're on this pill. And then after that, you have to stop. And it's supposed to block the receptors in your brain. I don't know. But two things I was skeptical about. One, it was hella expensive. Two, anytime you take some kind of drug, I was just like, I don't know, but like I said, I was done. Like, I was like, I really just want to stop smoking. Plus, I was hiding from my kids. Like, it was ridiculous. Look, listen, I was literally like, I didn't want my kids to know, so I never smoked around them. Well, my oldest ones did, but they're in their 20s. But my little ones, I didn't want my little ones to ever know that I smoked. So I would like hide. I would put gloves on and smoke my cigarette so that the smell wouldn't be on my fingers. I would immediately go back into the house, go into the bathroom, and like wash my face and my hands and chew gum, and like it's stupid. There was some stupid ass shit that I was doing. Okay, and so I had already like I had had enough. So I took that pill. For the first week I smoked. After that, I literally just did not want to have a cigarette. Like, I just didn't want to smoke. I don't know what it did to my brain, yo. Like, seriously? I just didn't want to smoke anymore. And what it did is it started making the smell so awful. And I worked in film and production, and people in TV it seems like everybody smokes, and everybody in that freaking office smokes cigarettes. And every time they would walk back by me, it would make me so nauseous. And I was like, this is disgusting. This is what I smell like? Like, this is awful. So I just started to get so, like, the smell started to bother me so much. And I was like, I just don't want a cigarette. And it really did take the cravings. There would be a couple of moments, like if I was upset or super stressed or whatever, that would sort of like give me that little, I don't know, like that little pull in my tummy, like, oh, you should have a cigarette, it'll calm you down. But it was so much easier to just ignore it. And you're supposed to do it, I think, for like 3 months, but I only did it like for the first month. One, because I couldn't afford to keep paying the $200, and also because it made me really sick, gave me really, really bad nightmares. It made me super constipated. Like, I couldn't go to the bathroom for so long. I had to like go get whatever those things are that soften your stool. And TMI, right? But whatever. And yeah, it was just crazy. So after that first month, I literally just didn't want to smoke at all. Like nothing. And so I just stopped buying it. And 7 years later, well, almost 7 years later, I haven't had a single cigarette. So, but they couldn't believe that I was, ever a smoker. So, I think it's totally possible. I think it's really hard. So when I see somebody who's like, I've tried smoking and I tried quitting smoking and I can't, like, I totally get it. But it's so bad for you. It's like so bad for you. Um, and yeah, so I wanted to just share that because I think some people, like, you never really know, I don't think people would see me now and think, oh, you used to smoke a pack and a half sometimes a day. That's a lot of damn cigarettes. There's 20 cigarettes in a pack, and I would smoke a pack a day. More if I was super stressed out or was having a bad day or had just gotten into a fight with somebody or whatever. And it was funny because, you get accustomed to doing certain things. Like, every time I had coffee, I would have to have a cigarette. Every time I got into my car, the first thing I did before I drove off was light a cigarette. If my phone rang and I was about to be on the phone, I would light a cigarette. Like, it was insane. It was ridiculous. And so it got really, really bad. I was like, I got to stop. So that's my how I stopped smoking story. If you're smoking, stop. Stop. Do whatever it is you need to do to, help you stop because it's so bad for you. Anyway, that's my PSA, I guess, for today. I'm going to go make myself breakfast, but I thought I'd share that story because I hadn't thought about that in a really long time, and having somebody be so surprised that I was once a smoker was like, oh, maybe I should tell that story. So anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'll see you next Wednesday with probably another random ass story. Peace.